Hi everyone, I'm Marley Berry. I'm the director of the Puppetmaster, and I'm here with executive producer Logan Bailey, who is also one of the main actors.
Hey guys, it's me. I played the body of the Puppetmaster in this piece.
Yes, you did. I decided to replace Logan's voice with one of my other friends, who's a very good actor, a guy named Mark Balchin. He did a really excellent job for the voice of the Puppetmaster, and Logan really captured the physicality of the role, so I was very pleased with that.
Well, yes, you wanted more like a sinister voice of the character, and that's Mark's forte, as you told me.
Yeah, that's his sort of thing.
Yeah.
So anyway, we've got this opening scene here, and this is the setup for the whole film. You've got this detective character named Maria Sanders surrounded by dolls, and then she finds this letter which says, "The cruelest lies are often told in silence." What does this mean? Why are there all these dolls? Where is this going?
Yeah.
Well, that's what you find out in the overall piece.
Well, in order to keep that scene concise, there was so much you had to cut out. There were so many really gorgeous shots. We took quite a good many hours.
It was a shame, but this shot here you really like.
Yeah, this is a shot here that threw me into the piece, that made me go, okay, this is effective, I'm engaged. Because up until that point I was like, yeah, okay, this is good. At this point I was like, whoa, what am I watching, you see? Which I think was the point of that shot and why you kept it so long.
Yeah, it's a very atmospheric, creepy shot, and I like it for that reason. Then here you've got the investigation scene. I've got a lot of these background things here, if you see, for symbolic effect. They like foreshadow later things in the film, which I know every director says, it's foreshadowing, it's symbolism, but I genuinely did, think about a lot of these things, what I was putting in. And you've also obviously got the set design of the room with the newspapers, dolls on the ground in the previous set, etc.
Yeah, which they come into play a lot later.
You've also got those flashes there. That's something I'm a big fan of. That's the sort of Sunshine movie influence right there. Now, Danny Boyle and all that.
We shouldn't forget to, of course, talk about Ellie, who's the star in this. She didn't like doing this voiceover.
Yes, she is the star of this, and no, she didn't. She doesn't think highly of her own acting abilities, but I personally think she did a great job in this piece.
Very fantastic. Couldn't see anyone else doing it. But, I don't know, I like the way this is shot. I don't know really what else she could have done with her voice to really improve it.
Sure. I mean, just maybe retake it until like she knows the character backwards. But really, I think she did as good a job as anyone else in this situation would have done.
Oh, I liked that pan there. That pan was your sister?
Well, that's obviously in the context of the story. That's her missing niece, because that's why she's so invested in finding the Puppetmaster.
Yeah.
But this is my sister. It's a picture of my sister that I used to do Amy Sanders.
This scene is the scene that kind of shocked me, and not for the reason you may think.
Okay.
When we were shooting the scene, and I was sitting in the chair, and I was watching Eleanor have her, freak out session, I was quite concerned that it would come across cheesy and a little silly. And given the way you've edited it and cut it together, and of course the visual layers and stuff, I'm really surprised how well that plays out, and that's not any offence to your writing.
No,
the physicality of it.
Oh, thanks, man.
It really works.
Yeah, I'm really glad it did. I think one of the things that really helps is the starting music is just a very creepy, quick thing, and then it settles down. That really helps. And also a lot of the angles and the movements of the camera, like that shot there, I love it because it sort of flows with her. You've got the light and the doll that I really like.
Fantastic on this.
I'm really proud of that. Yeah, touch angles is kind of, I think, what's developing as my major style.
Yeah. And
the lighting I was really pleased with in this production. It was just a really well lit overall.
This would be the place to use Dutch angles in theory, because Dutch angles are specifically for if you want something to feel off or weird or uncomfortable, and given that it's a horror film, that would naturally be the apt place to use it.
Yeah, sure. I mean, that's generally how they're supposed to be used. I mean, obviously you can use them for stylistic effect. Like, I love how Kenneth Branagh uses them in movies like Thor and Cinderella. They're not necessarily used for, unnerving, not all the time at least, they're just used for style. But yeah, in the context of this film, it is very much to give the impression like something's off. And especially when you, with Maria, like that shot there, the reason why the room's at an angle is because it's trying to subtly hint that already, she's at a disadvantage. You don't know why exactly yet, you don't know what's put her at such a disadvantage, but you just get this sense that she's way over her head.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, you get the feeling that stuff's going to go down, because we see this guy here, this guy I played, sprinkled around the piece, but now it's the first kind of confrontation between the two, so you kind of go into that scene going, okay, this is Act 3, this is the,
Yeah, and with her there, she just said, I'm armed, and he just replies almost jokingly, oh, I'm sure you are, but, that's very representative of just his character in general. guns, knives, whatever, it's not going to make him feel afraid. He has complete mastery of the situation that he is the puppet master.
That reminds me, actually. I remember you showing me during post-production, you really fleshed out this world in ways that are long beyond anything we'll actually see in this piece. Did you care to go into that a little?
Yes, I did. So one of the main things I did was that I wrote extensive backstories for both characters. Maria has previously suffered from alcoholism and depression due to the nature of her work being, intense homicide cases, criminal rings, very dark stuff. And after Amy Sanders was born and she was made the godmother, it pulled her back from a very dark place in her life. So that's why she has such a personal investment in finding Amy. Because I did consider making Amy her daughter for a while, but I wanted something a little different.
Yeah, I thought that'd be cliche.
A little. I mean, it could have worked fine, but since I wasn't going to overly focus on the daughter angle, I wanted something that was a nice subtle tie but had a lot of pathos to it.
Yeah.
And then with the Puppetmaster, this is interesting. While I wrote him quite an extensive backstory, I did still manage to leave his identity vague through various aliases that he's had over his life for various reasons.
And even in the practicality of filming it, all the dark shadows.
Because I want him to be this very mysterious, enigmatic character. It's why you never see his eyes. Occasionally you see his mouth and bits of his face, but you never see his eyes. Yeah. Because not literally, but metaphorically, the eyes are the window to the soul. And it's implying that he has no humanity left. Yeah. And like you said, he could be anyone. He could be anyone pushed too far.
You kind of lose sympathy for someone if you can't directly see into their eyes. That makes a lot of sense.
True, you are meant to sympathise with him a little, but at the same time, you're also meant to really fear him.
Yeah.
But yeah, there is the element of if you can't see their eyes, it's just a very unnerving feeling.
Yeah. And talk about this bit with the doll. When we were filming this took so long to do. Filming a doll off screen, throwing a doll off screen is harder than you think.
Yeah, and dropping that, getting the framing right. But I think that worked out pretty well. Yeah. It's one of the bits where I just use slow motion sparingly, and I think that actually works quite well.
Is so good in this scene.
Yeah, and you do really well with the physicality here. I mean, because of you, that's one of the reasons the lighting works so well. So there's definitely that. Yeah. I mean, I really like her reactions here. That's one of the things people have constantly complimented. She does really nice, subtle reactions. And considering that it's a dub voice she's reacting to later, it's amazing how well that actually matches up.
Exactly. Well, it's not too much, and it's not overly subdued. It's that sweet spot in the middle that feels authentic. Sure.
I mean, she has the odd moment here or there, but she's not a professional actress. And all things considered, she's really nailing this role. Yeah. There's only one moment which I'll point out in a few minutes when it comes up, which I think is possibly a little overdone, but that's as much my direction as her acting. And it's one of those moments where pretty much anything's going to come across as a strange reaction because it's such a horror situation-esque moment that no one can react entirely naturally to it because it's a very unnatural thing.
I will say, as an actor, I started out in the theatre. For me personally, having a costume is what really gets me into the role. I do remember specifically asking you, because this wasn't your idea, this was my idea. I was like, I want some gloves and I want a cane, because that will really get me into the physicality of the
I was always keen on a trench coat, and I always thought that practically we need a hat, to cover your face. But that was a really good call with the cane. It gives you something to do, and I think it really helps to match.
Methodical.
Match. Your character, the voice, all that good stuff.
The lighting is so good here.
Yeah, thanks, man. That's my favourite shot there, with just the statue in the background, the shadow covering his face, the rose curtains for love and hinting to his backstory.
That's my favourite shot right there, because I just see such emotion and the lighting.
That is a great reaction. I love that reaction. Yeah. It's the very next shot, though, which has the slightly melodramatic moment. I mean, this is all great here.
Fantastic.
I really like the framing, actually, and she does excellent. Yeah, right there. But in fairness,
she doesn't like that shot either.
No, I mean the actress doesn't like it. But in fairness, again, she's just been told that she has indirectly caused the deaths of 23 children. How does any human normally react to that?
Yeah.
Like, if you're not like the cruelest Nazi supporter in the world, how do you naturally react to that?
Yeah,
so, and to be honest, I mean, I think falling to your knees, upset, broken, is very human in a lot of ways.
Well, is this coming up? Yeah.
Yeah.
I really want to talk about this scene because here's the thing. You see how we use some CGI blood around here?
Yeah.
Yeah, Eleanor suggested...
Do you want to just pause it?
Eleanor suggested on set that we use ketchup and stuff, and we didn't.
Uh-huh.
And then you suggested we use a clean knife. I always said to do it CG. I'm just so used to CG. I find CG very much easier to use. We ended up going CG, which I think probably works out best overall for the product, you know?
Yeah, in some ways, though, I am so annoyed that I didn't get any, like, blood markings on the knife. That was a real oversight on my part. And it's a shame because just, like, one of the ending, most powerful shots, the immersion is slightly broken. But it's the only thing I really dislike about the production
There's
overall.
no real close-up on the knife itself.
Yeah, I mean, that helps, but the fact that you can see it when falling. I mean, the CGI blood does distract now, and it does add, but yeah. So overall, I'm really pleased with this piece, to be honest.
Me too.
I don't like the knife thing, and I'm sure there's small other bits here and there, but overall, I'm really pleased, man.
Well, me too. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I'm Logan Bailey.
And I'm Marley Berry, director of the Puppetmaster. Hope to be talking and seeing you guys again soon. Thanks, guys.
Have a good one.
Bye.